The Miami Heat are coming. Yes, they are. All you Boston fans, all you Knicks fans, all you Milwaukee Bucks fans, I know y'all a little scared. Y'all don't want to see Miami in the playoffs, for real. The Heat are coming. Listen, y'all, this video, we're going to talk straight Miami Heat basketball. Miami has been playing fantastic basketball the past, I would say, 12 games. So let's get into it, all right? Please like, comment, and subscribe, especially if you're a Heat fan. You know, I'm with you. We here together. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so look. Miami Heat, if you watch their games, you know they had a very bad January. The very bad month of January. They went 6-10. They went on a 7-game losing streak at one point. Things were not looking good. Offense sucked. Defense was bad. No communication on the defensive end. Just lazy defense. No one's committing. And so they had gone through that adversity. And it's not like they just was playing bad. Like, they played Boston and Phoenix in particular. And it's like they didn't even belong on the same court. Getting blown out by those two teams. They had a meeting. And ever since then, everything's turned around. They're 9-3 in their last 12 games, dating back to before the All-Star break. And since that losing streak, their defense has improved. I would say the offense is still, it's still shaky, but I've seen things that I liked. Okay, so we're gonna get into it. So far in this month, in the month of February, Miami has been the second best defensive team in the entire league. Okay, they ended up going 8-3 this month. At their last game, they lost to Denver. Close game though, they lost by 6. But I think the main turnaround for Miami's sort of resurgence is the fact that they have been better on defense. And their biggest problem was that they couldn't guard the point of attack at all. Teams were just were able to get to the paint. They weren't stopping anybody on drives, so it was pretty easy. Like, look, they have Bam. Bam cleans up a lot of defensive mistakes for the other players. That's why he's the best defender in the league for sure. But you just needed pressure on the ball. And we have to shout out Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin was playing very good defense last year, and for most of the season, I know he's been injury riddled, so he's been ramping up a little by little. But his perimeter defense the past few weeks has been that at the level that you expected it to be the entire season. So you got to shout him out. Obviously, they pick up Delon Wright off the buyout market, and if you follow Delon Wright for his career, not a star player, just a role player, but gets steals, gets deflections, has good size, can really guard on the perimeter. So that was a very good pickup for them to turn Kyle Lowry, who is 37, soon to be 38, and for the Heat, I should say, for them to turn that into Terry Rozier and Delon Wright. Terry Rozier via trade, obviously Delon Wright via buyout. Like, good job, Miami. You have to clap it up for them. You have to clap it up for them, because those are significant upgrades at the point guard position. You just weren't getting enough production offensively or defensively from Kyle Lowry. So to be able to turn it to Terry Rozier, who, again, his offense hasn't been great, but you've seen flashes of, like, okay, you see how his offensive ability can help the team. And then Delon Wright, obviously, like I said, great defense on the perimeter. So their defense has been good. I think probably the biggest thing to talk about is Jimmy Butler, though. Jimmy Butler, we all know, is a very, very good defender. And for the most part, most of the season, he coasts. He doesn't go 100% throughout the season. We know how he manages his body. He doesn't want to burn himself out by going hard in the regular season. But lately, the defensive the versatility, the defensive pressure that Jimmy Butler has been playing with has really helped this team. You know he knows how to force turnovers. You know he can defend without fouling. You know he can grab a ton of steals, turn the ball over, cause deflections, all that. Like, with Jimmy Butler playing at a high level on the defensive end, you could really tell it makes a huge difference. He's their second best defender, behind Bam, obviously. So when Bam is always playing at a high level defensively. If Jimmy could play at a high level defensively that we've known for him to be throughout his entire career, this team was completely different. And they've gone 9-3 in their last 12 games. Offense, it has been their issue. It has been their struggle for the past couple of seasons, not just this one, but last year. We all know how bad they were offensively. Like, they're 10th in the league in three-point percentage, but this whole month, they haven't been that great. I think they've been like 19th in three-point percentage. They haven't been making a lot of threes. So for their offense to not be as good as it was, like the month of December, their offense was amazing. And then it dropped a lot because of the bad January. But for them, this is why defense is extremely important. This is why this team has to lean on defense, because the offense, it comes and go. Okay, sometimes they might be shooting 39% from three, and have like 10 turnovers, or maybe they might have 15 turnovers the next game and shoot like 31% from three. Okay, they aren't a consistent enough offensive team throughout the regular season. But they can always lean on defense. You know, Eric Spoelstra always leads on defense. You know, this entire Heat organization is all about defense, defense, defense. So for them to be able to be this, I don't want to say dominant, but to be this good on defense in the month of February has really transformed this last stretch for them. The Knicks, obviously, Julius Randle and OG Anunoby aren't back, but they're close. Reports are saying that they're really close to coming back. Obviously, Philly doesn't have Embiid, so they've been sliding a little bit. And Indiana and Orlando, you know, they can be shaky. Orlando obviously is not a good offensive team. Indiana is not a good defensive team, so they fluctuate at times. So with Miami playing this way, the 4 seed is up for grab. I don't know if they can get the 3 seed, which I believe Milwaukee is still the 3 seed. I don't know if they can get all the way up for there. Like Milwaukee and Cleveland, which are 2 and 3, they're going to have to really slide a lot, and I don't really see that happening. So the 4 seed is really in play. Miami should just, who cares about seeding? I know they don't really care about seeding either, but just get out the play-in tournament. Last year, Miami was 8th in the East. I don't think they can make the finals again, being the 8th seed. Like last year was a crazy run, but you can't expect a crazy run 2 times in a row. So it's very important for this team to get out the play-in tournament. I believe that they won't be in a play-in tournament. 4, 5, and 6, who knows where they'll be at, but I think it's very possible for them to be the 4 seed and have home court advantage during the first round of the playoffs. Especially since Miami has the second easiest schedule in the entire league. Okay, this month of March, they play Detroit 3 times, which is terrible. They play Washington 2 times, which is terrible. Like that's 5 games, 5 free games. Now look. Any team can beat any team at any point. So if you want to beat Detroit, you want to beat Washington, you have to earn the wins. And sometimes Miami plays down to their level of competition. If they play a really good team, you see them get up for it. If they play a bad team, sometimes they don't play as good. These are trap games. So Miami has to really take those games. They can't just sleepwalk in those games. Because Detroit and Washington, they're not just going to give you a free win. You have to earn it. Very easy schedule. The only problem, Orlando has the easiest schedule in the entire league. Not just in the East, in the entire league. So Orlando could get a bunch of wins and threaten Miami for the 4 through 8 spot. Again, you don't want to be in a play-in tournament, but they're going to be challenging Miami. Of course, Indiana's a good team. Philly, even though they don't have Embiid, I think they're just trying to stay afloat enough to not fall into the standings. I believe in the Heat. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is after the All-Star break. You know, this is when Jimmy Butler plays his best basketball. He's been playing very well. I talked about how he has played well on defense, but he's been playing well on offense as well. Bam has been playing good. Duncan Robinson has played well. We need Terry Rozier to start, hitting his shots, hitting threes and all that. He just came back from injury. Only played 2 games, so hopefully his offensive production can help this team, because they need his run pressure and they need his pull-up shooting. Terry Rozier is averaging 37%, is shooting 37.6% from the field and 23.7% from the 3. That's horrible. That is awful. They need his offensive production to start rising. They need him to start hitting shots. I think most, from 2-point range, obviously sometimes he's not a good finisher. He struggles finishing at the rim at times, but I think his 2-point range, from whether it's mid-range shots or whether it's getting to the basket, I think that's fine. I think he hasn't provided the pull-up shooting, the spot-up shooting that you've wanted him to provide for this team. This team could use some pull-up shooting. I still believe in Terry Rozier. I still like this trade from Miami, but Terry Rozier is definitely going to have to start knocking down some threes. Jaquez is starting to play well. Caleb Martin, again, offensively. If Caleb Martin gives you 15 points on offense, that's a W. Because the assignments that he has defensively, guarding usually the best perimeter player, it's a lot. So if he could provide anything offensively, especially if he can hit the spot up 3, his threes have been looking pretty good lately. It's a big W for us. DeLon Wright, again, looked really good in Sacramento. Who did he play after Sacramento? Portland. And he only played 3 minutes in Denver. Didn't really look good in those 3 minutes, but overall his impact will be definitely needed. So overall, Miami Heat has played their best basketball, and starting from the defensive end of the floor, being the second best defensive team in the league in the month of February. They're playing their best stretch of basketball right now, and this is the exact time you want to play your best stretch of basketball. They're gonna play Utah today. They're gonna play Detroit after, I believe. OKC is obviously, OKC is a tough matchup. They're second in the West. They're playing phenomenal, but they have a pretty good schedule. They play Dallas as well, and they're gonna play Denver again in March 13th. So in a couple weeks, or maybe even less than that, to be honest. Miami Heat fans, we coming. We aren't peaking. We're not at our very, very best, but we're trending upward. I'm loving the way we're playing. If we can keep playing like this, especially against the good teams that we'll play soon, like Denver and Dallas, New Orleans, this team might go back to the finals. Thank y'all for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Any and all help is greatly appreciated, and I'll see y'all next video. Peace.